Welcome back to Grammar Grade 7. This is Unit 12, Lesson 65, and we're opening our unit on punctuation with one of the most useful marks you will ever write, the comma. Today is the first of our comma lessons, so we'll focus on one big job the comma does over and over, setting things off. A comma can mark the pause after an introduction, fence off a little extra information, and point out the very person you are speaking to. Let's take a look. Before we dive in, here's the big picture. In every case today, the comma is doing the same thing. It marks a small pause so your reader knows where one part of the sentence ends and the next begins. We'll see it in three places. First, a comma comes after an introduction at the start of a sentence. Second, a pair of commas fences off a non-essential appositive, that little burst of extra information. And third, commas set off the name of the person you're speaking to, which we call direct address. One mark, three tidy jobs. Let's meet them one at a time. Let's start with the simplest case, an introductory word. These little openers ask for a quick pause. When you begin a sentence with a word like yes, no, or well, or a mild interjection like oh, you follow it with a comma. Listen. Yes, I finished my chores. Hear that tiny beat after yes? That's the comma doing its job. Here's another one. Well, let's get started. The word well steps in, and then the comma marks the pause before the real sentence begins. Introductions aren't always single words. Sometimes a whole phrase opens the sentence, and it needs a comma too. There are two kinds to watch for. The first is two or more prepositional phrases stacked at the start. Listen. In the back of the closet, I found my old skates. See how in the back and of the closet pile up before the main sentence? A comma closes off that long opener. The second kind is a participial phrase, an ing phrase that opens the sentence. Smiling widely, she waved at the crowd. The phrase smiling widely describes her, and the comma sets it off before we reach the main idea. Now our second job. Remember appositives, those nouns that rename the noun beside them? When an appositive is non-essential, it's just extra information you could lift right out, so we fence it off with a pair of commas. Here's one. My brother, a chef, cooks dinner. The words a chef rename my brother, and that appositive is boxed in by a comma before it and a comma after it. Here's the proof it's non-essential. Drop those words, and my brother cooks dinner still stands as a complete sentence. Our third job is my favorite, direct address. Direct address is when you name the person you're speaking to right inside the sentence. That name gets set off with commas. When the name comes first, put the comma after it. Maria, please pass the salad. The comma tells us Maria is the one being spoken to, not part of the action. When the name comes last, put the comma before it. Come here, Diego. Again, the comma separates the message from the name. Front or back, the name you're speaking to always gets fenced off. What if the name lands right in the middle of the sentence? Then it needs a comma on both sides, one before and one after, exactly like an appositive did. Listen. You know, Sam, that homework is due tomorrow. Sam is the person being spoken to, tucked into the middle, so a comma stands guard on each side of the name. Notice the pattern. A name you address at the front takes one comma after it. A name at the end takes one comma before it. And a name in the middle takes two, one on each side. Let's pull it all together into a quick check you can run on any sentence. 1. Does the sentence begin with an opener, a word or a phrase? If so, put a comma after it. 2. Is there a non-essential appositive, extra information that could drop out? Fence it with 2 commas. 3. Are you speaking directly to someone by name? Set that name off with commas. In every single case, the comma is doing the same gentle thing. It marks the pause that keeps your meaning clear. Ready to practice a few together? Time to practice. In this first set, I'll read a sentence and you decide where the comma belongs. Pause the video and think it through before I reveal each answer. Yes, I will help you tomorrow. Where does the comma go? The sentence opens with the introductory word yes, and an opener like that is always followed by a comma. So the answer is, yes, comma, I will help you tomorrow. After the final bell, we hurried outside. This sentence opens with an introductory phrase, after the final bell, before we reach the main idea. That opener needs a comma right after it, so the answer is, after the final bell, comma, we hurried outside. My aunt, a nurse, works at the clinic. The words a nurse rename my aunt, and they're non-essential. You could drop them and still have my aunt works at the clinic. A non-essential appositive in the middle needs a comma on each side. So the answer is, my aunt, comma, a nurse, comma, works at the clinic. In this second set, each sentence uses a comma correctly. Your job is to name the reason the comma is there: an introduction, an appositive, or direct address. Pause and choose before I answer. Please sit down, Marcus. Why is that comma there? Marcus is the person being spoken to, sitting at the end of the sentence. That's direct address, and the comma sets the name off. So the answer is direct address. Well, that was a surprising ending. Why the comma? The sentence opens with the little word well, an introductory word, and openers like that are followed by a comma. So the answer is introductory word. Our captain, a strong swimmer, led the team. What are those 2 commas doing? The phrase a strong swimmer renames our captain and could be lifted right out, which makes it a non-essential appositive. So the answer is appositive. Let's gather up what we learned. A comma follows an introduction, whether it's a single word like yes or well, or a longer opening phrase. A pair of commas fences off a non-essential appositive, the extra information you could lift right out. And commas set off a name in direct address, the person you're speaking to, whether that name sits at the front, the middle, or the end. In every case, the comma marks a small pause that keeps your writing clear. Wonderful work today. In our next lesson, we'll keep building your comma skills. I'll see you there.